Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. It is Palestine. Welcome to my channel. I wasn't planning on making a video so soon, but I got some information about my mother. As you can see, I have lots of different topics that I discuss, and my channel has evolved because obviously my mother has fallen and broken her neck. So I want to talk about her progress because there might be somebody who is interested in her progress or is interested in what she's going through. I also want to point your attention to my new top, okay? Now this new top, I got it in the mall that I normally go to that is right across from pretty much the Poundland. And I got it for £5 and it was on sale. It would have been more expensive than that because I can only buy clothing if it's on sale or if it's at Poundland or Primark. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is the material that this top was made in is a very cheap quality material. And that's just, so I paid £5 for it on sale. And that is just the quality that I'm able to buy on the tiny little bit of money that I get. And that's why generally I'll go to charity shops when I'm in Poole visiting my boyfriend's mother, because you have a lot of really wealthy retirees in Poole. So I go to charity shops in there to try to get some things there. And as you know, I go to the handouts, and on Tuesday, which was 2 days ago, I made a video about Queen's Arms not giving clothes anymore. Well, this is a top that I can't even say that I can afford to buy it, but this is a top that I bought for £5 on sale at a shop right across from the pound shop. And I don't know if you can tell, but the quality of the fabric isn't very good. And so that's why I wanted to bring this to your attention, and why I like going to handouts, because you can get clothes that people have donated that are potentially better quality. But enough about my top. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I wanted to update you on the status of my mother's health, because my mother has this friend who's a couple of years younger than my sister and me. But this friend's a big girl, because in America, people like to eat. And so she eats really, she's a big girl. And her breasts are bigger than mine. And she's just bigger than me all over, even though I'm not necessarily small. And so basically, she's my mother's friend. I'm pretty sure she would like more than just friendship. But anyway, she's my mother's friend. And she's been looking after my mother. And I'm grateful to the fact that she's looking after my mother, because obviously I'm not able to, because I'm here in the UK and my mother's in Arkansas. But my mother, this friend posted that my mother slept a lot better last night because the doctors had put her on a sleeping aid. Why? Why are the doctors putting her on a sleeping aid? And I'm not very happy about the doctors putting my mother on a sleeping aid. And I'm going to tell you why. Because my mother was on this sleeping tablet called Ambien. And you can look it up on Google. And Ambien caused her to gain a lot of weight because she was getting up in the middle of the night and eating. And my mother is not the only one that this has happened to, because years ago, when I could afford to buy a ladies' magazine, which I can't afford it anymore, I read about this lady who gained a couple £100 taking this Ambien sleeping tablet. And it wasn't, finally, they realized that it was actually the sleeping tablet that was causing her to eat, because she was eating in the middle of the night. So this Ambien has a lot of really bad side effects. So if you're someone who's prone to obesity, then that is not a drug that you should be taking. And that's like my mom. So my mom was taking this Ambien, and I don't know how much she weighed. She may be 250, 300 pounds. And my mom was about 5'6", but she's smaller now because her bones have shrunk just like mine. I used to be 5'5.5", but now I'm like maybe 5'3". And so she was on this Ambien, and she would wake up in the morning. She'd have crumbs all over her and everything because she'd been getting up in the middle of the night and eating. And then finally, after a while, after she realized that it was this Ambien that was causing her to eat in the middle of the night, I think eventually she stopped taking it. But she just got used to eating in the middle of the night. And from what I understand, even after she stopped taking the drug, she carried on eating. And I know I'll have that problem too, because I try not to eat during the day, but sometimes I'll have a little nibble at night. So I know what it's like to want to have a little nibble at night. And so her friend is so happy that she's on this sleeping drug. And then so this morning, my mom ate all her breakfast and her protein shake. Well, my mom doesn't need to be eating. She doesn't need to be eating lots of food. It's not anything to be clapping about. My mom, she was when she had her operation, had her accident. She definitely was obese. Maybe she'd lost a little bit of weight because she had broken her hip and she couldn't get up in the middle of the night to eat. So she had lost weight. But this isn't good. This is not a good thing. These doctors giving my mom sleeping pills is not a good thing. And so her friends, who are feeders, by the way, want my mom to be morbidly obese. They want my mom to be fat. So instead of telling the doctors, what are you doing? She can't have sleeping pills because they make her get up in the middle of the night and eat. She's pleased that my mother's on sleeping pills. She's pleased that my mother has eaten all of her breakfast. My mother doesn't need to eat all of her breakfast any more than I need to eat all of my breakfast. And so that's why I'm making this video, because I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy. I'm not happy that my mom's on sleeping pills, because I'm just worried that she's going to start eating again. And then because her feeders bring her food. So it's not right to think, oh, well, she can't get up and get the food. People bring the food to her. And there was another incident. If you look of that video I made a few weeks ago, because my friend who has paranoid schizophrenia, her mother died. And basically what they did was they put her mother in a nursing home. She didn't want to be there. And then so she started kicking up a fuss, saying, well, how much fuss can a woman in her 80s kick up? But she started kicking up a fuss and started saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Get me out of here. So the nurses didn't want to hear it. So they gave her some sleeping tablets, and she never woke up from those sleeping tablets. And then now, obviously, they had to do an autopsy. And now they're saying that my friend's mother died of a blood disease, and that's what killed her, this blood disease. How come they didn't pick the blood disease up when she was in the hospital? How come she had to go into a nursing home and then to give her sleeping tablets because they didn't want to listen to her and her not to wake up from the sleeping tablets for them to find out she had a blood disease? So I'm real suspicious of that. I'm real skeptical of that. So I'm not happy about my mother being on sleeping tablets. Number one, because of her propensity to overeat. And number two, she might not wake up from them. So that's why I'm making this video. I wasn't intending on making the video so quick. I just thought that I would make a video when my mom leaves this rehab center and say that she's at home, But if they keep giving her sleeping tablets, she might not leave the rehab center. She might end up in the same situation that my friend's mother was in, you know. So that's it. That's it. So my mom's on sleeping tablets now. So, one, she can overeat, and they're really happy. Her feeder friends are really happy about the fact that she's eating now, because that's what they want. They want her to be morbidly obese. That's what makes them happy. And then two, she might not wake up from these sleeping pills because she's 84, and my friend's mother was like 85. So I think that's going to conclude this video. I've updated you on the state of my mother's health, and I've let you know she's on sleeping tablets now, which I'm not happy about. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. And thank you so much for taking an interest in my life and my mother's life, as pathetic as our lives may be.